Welcome everyone. So my area is the HDR professional skills, which is broad, and the learning skills and professional skills, we have a little bit of crossover here and there, and we work closely together. So I guess this program was introduced really to look at helping people doing their high degree research, Masters of Research and PhDs, on how you actually can work to develop those skills, or perhaps audit the ones you already have and how you're developing them as you go, to improve your choices and your outcomes, I suppose, in terms of as a professional wherever you choose to go. So I guess the thing is, PhDs have often been looked at as an apprenticeship for academia, to become an academic. I don't know whether anyone's prepared to do this, but is there a show of hands of people who would like to pursue an academic career? Okay, quite a few, but not everybody. So that's good for me, in that it gives that breadth that we're looking at. So we will look at how we might help people who want to pursue an academic career. It's a difficult path you've chosen, and a competitive one, but there's things you can do, so I would suggest you don't wait till the end. And for other people, there's so many other options, and it's about which of those might you pursue. You might already have some ideas, you might already be working in that field, and this is to help your career. So I guess what I try and work with people to do is help them to audit what you already have. You haven't all come in, as you're not school leavers, so you have some professional skills already. Do you know what they are? So it's about thinking about what you actually already have, what you've come in with. The thing is, we might actually benefit from those too, or all of you might benefit from each other's professional skills, and I'd really love to try and work toward where we have more of that sharing across peers. So also how you develop career development planning skills. People think of career as, I've done this, therefore I'll do this. It's not about that. It's a lifelong thing, particularly now. You'd all know that the world is very dynamic, and we have so many things that are disrupting our normal views of what a career would be. And some of you are doing PhDs in some of those very things, machine learning and so on. So it's about how do you become responsible for your own career, and that's the stuff that I run. When I run the career development planning workshops, it's really about trying to help you take responsibility for that, but then developing some skills on how you do that. Also understanding employer needs. There are a lot of employers out there that are looking for PhDs, they just don't know they are. And there's some work being done by Inga Mewburn. Has anyone heard of the Thesis Whisperer? Hands up if you've heard of the Thesis Whisperer. Okay, so those of you who haven't, go and Google that when you leave. She does a blog, she's very famous worldwide. Now she's been working with another academic, Rachel Pitt, and another bunch of people at ANU and the Department of Industry to develop sort of algorithms, machine learning, to search for what she calls PhD-shaped jobs, so that they're out there, but the employers don't necessarily know that, and so they're doing all that work, and it's getting closer. She presented at a conference I went to at the end of last year. Also about how you enhance your career opportunities while you're here. You're going to be incredibly busy, I know that, but what small things can you do? How can you get involved? HDR Mentors, which you'll hear about later, is one of those things, and the connections can be done through many pathways. You might already have great connections, you may have forgotten about some of them, and I run a workshop on networking there. And how you actually translate what you have. Like if you say to someone, oh, I have a PhD, and they go, why would I care? You have to think about why would they want to know. You've got to put yourself in the shoes of an employer and understand that. And if you can start doing that from now, then at the end you're really able to do that, rather than being, get to the end and go, oh well, who'd want this? Why would they want it? And also you'll tend to underestimate and perhaps undervalue what you actually have learnt, because you haven't been looking at it all the way along. So I'd really like you to consider these questions. What are your reasons for doing a PhD? Have you thought about that? Have you just found yourself here? Lots of people do, and there's nothing wrong with that, but why not start to think about what it is that has driven you to take on this major project, really? If you have some goals, and if hopefully they're loose ones, but how will it help you get there? and think about that again along the way, always looking at that. And what else do you need to do to achieve your goals? Again, you can't just come out and say, well, I have the PhD. What else would people be looking for? Where are the gaps? So doing that audit of skills and experiences and strengths is something where you can then start to say, oh, really, that looks interesting. Oh, but I don't have this. How could I get that? It could be some of the stuff that Juliet's been talking about as well. So it is your responsibility. I can tell you that nobody cares more about your PhD than you do. And so just remember that. You do need to actually own that and be as proactive as you can. And we, Ashwin, who may be talking later, from counselling, he runs a workshop called Communication and Managing Up. And that's all about how do you manage your relationship with your supervisor so you get the best out of that. So I'd encourage you to take advantage of that. Keep building those networks. You already have one. You don't even know who those people are in many ways and how they might be of value, or you could be of value. Networking is actually about giving, not taking. So if you can think about how you can give, you will actually reap benefits, but you can't think like that. What are your values? And that'll come into that question that I asked you to ask yourself. Why are you doing this PhD? You probably really want to make a difference in some way. What is that? And grow all these skills that are listed here. And yeah, as I've said before, and I say it again, get involved, contribute, and start early. Don't wait till the end. And yeah, no, the thing is, you actually have an opportunity to make a difference while you're here. And, you know, seriously, I would love to hear if any of you are interested in running something for your peers. That would be just great, because you've probably got some real expertise that other people could gain value from. So my links you'll only get when you get this electronically. So Juliet's shown you the HDR workshops, and so we're on there too. I wanting to do more Zoom sessions, so that Zoom is just that like a meeting software that we all use here. Ideally, we could get some employers involved where they can stay where they are and run some Zoom sessions. Some of you, as I mentioned, you might say, hey, look, I have this expertise. I'll run one for everybody. So they're only short, so probably half an hour maximum. And that way you can actually contribute or learn from other people as well. So keep your eye out for those. And where you'll see a lot of that is, I also have an iLearn site that I've been developing. And I've got the website listed underneath it, but really the iLearn site I've developed is actually probably like a website for me, because I have real capacity to change it and add to it. And I'm trying to develop more online options so that it does become a 24/7, that you can access things. A lot of people can't come on campus, or if they can, it's not when that workshop is. And we're often, one of our real issues is getting space to run workshops. So sometimes we don't have a choice of what day we might run something or a time, because that's the only time we can get a room. So keep your eye out for what's going on and try and get involved where you can. So I work part-time. I'm working on bigger picture things and trying to develop these workshops in a program online. Love to be able to do individual career consultations, but I don't really have that opportunity. But the career service does, and so please take advantage of that. The more PhDs do that, the more they'll, you know, grow that part of their service. They do run the careers fairs and so on, and I've been working with them to try and include more and more research employers, I suppose. Employers that you might not know employ research graduates, and so they're doing that too and trying to let those employers know, hey, well, we might have some PhDs come along as well. So that's all going to be in the slides that you get. So that's pretty much what I have to say, and I'd just really like you to take advantage of some of these things while you're doing your PhD. Thanks.